Hi guys, this is the eighth video that I've made in this series about Iovance Biotherapeutics. Today, which is the 30th of January of 2026, we are going to be basically doing a brief recap of what happened in the previous quarter. So that will be 2025 Q4, which basically includes the earning reports for 2025 Q3. And then we are going to be looking ahead about what is coming and basically trying to understand both the good and the bad in our investment thesis, and hopefully this way help you to make better decisions and understand the whole context and some of the details, because remember, the devil truly lives in the details. Now, for those that are new to the channel, I am by no means a professional investor. I don't have any scientific background, whether academic or actually professional, right? I'm just someone who has started investing a while ago, and then in April 2025, basically decided to go quite strongly in Iovance and basically tries to educate herself and understand this crazy, honestly, thing called the stock market and the biotech industry, right? So please always take into account that I really have certain limitations, and I do not see the future. I will always try to protect you from my own biases, but I cannot protect you from what I am not aware of, right? This is why I will try to use language like seems likely and so on, because truly we do not know what's going to happen, right? We can only try to deepen our understanding and then make decisions with some prudence to protect ourselves, right? You have a picture there of my current position, that is 33,000 shares. I screenshot um, my previous position. I think it was in the previous to last video, that was around 31,000 shares. So you will see that I'm just modestly adding, just because I went really hard in the beginning. So now I need to basically control myself and prepare for the worst in case that it happens, because it really could, right? We don't know. This is a really complex enterprise that we've decided to get involved with. Right, so I would also like to start this video by saying a huge thank you to the StockTwits community. StockTwits is basically a website and an application where you can connect basically with people that invest in the same stocks that you invest in. It's basically like an X, but only focus on a specific stocks. And this is the people that I follow and that I talk to on a regular basis, that come from really different walks of life, but you have here professional investors, PhDs in oncology, people with a really high IQ and a strong capability to understand really complex things. So hopefully, if you follow them, you will be able to get the whole picture, although it's really hard because honestly, this is a really complex thing to try to understand. So thank you to you. You really make everything amazing. Even if I lose money, just the fact that I've gotten to know you really changed everything, right? So, agenda for today. We are going to set the scene. We need to understand a few things and be aware of a few things that will hopefully help us understand why Iovance is a penny stock. Remember that if a stock has a price below 5 USD, it's usually considered a penny stock. So we are a penny stock for now. We're going to do a really super massive brief recap on 2025 Q3, just because I dedicated a whole video. I actually dedicated to this, so you can go back to that video and to hopefully understand better what was said, because I'm going to be skipping certain things, like for example new generations and the contribution of all like new markets, because that is for the impact of that is going to come later, right? So for now I'm going to focus on short term, which is 2026, 2027 and 2028. Then we're going to deep dive into the catalyst for 2026, also strategic paths. What I mean by that is that Iovance has three main scenarios that of course may be combined, and I think that's going to be the case. Either go solo, sign different type of partnerships, and then hopefully a buyout. We will see about that, right? Then as a, let's say, summary or conclusion, I'm going to be sharing my selling a strategy. I can already tell you that I'm buying, that I'm holding, and I will sell at some point, obviously, because that's the whole point. And then we're going to be touching briefly on stock price predictions. I do not see the future. Please take that into account. Any exercise about the future without all known variables, which by the way evolve on a regular basis, really is speculation, right? So please do not organize your life around this, because anything could happen, right? So, and we don't know with accuracy what's going to happen. What we know for a fact is that this is going to be a hell of a ride. But hey, if you are a biotech investor, you definitely expect that to happen, right? So you see all that storm and so on, right? Please also see that is going up, right? So we hope that we will go through the fucking storm, our own dark nights of the soul apply to the stock market and our money. But we hope there will be lights on the other side, and along the way we will learn 1,000,000,000 things, right? There are reasons to believe. Now, current market dynamics. So we saw this week that 2.99 is acting as a resistance. What is a resistance? In a graph, you're going to see lows and highs, right? So when a stock price cannot surpass a given high, that is called a resistance. When it doesn't go below a specific level, that's called a support, right? So usually you will see a channel which is signaling at the moment that is going to go up, but it could go down and then up and so on, right? Because I challenge you to find one stock, one. If you only find one stock that doesn't go through ups and downs, I will give you, and I tell you, I say it publicly, 1,000 euros right now. Like everything in life goes ups and downs. As human beings, we progress and we regress, and this is the same, right? Right. Then we are really famous because we are in the list of the most short stocks from Yahoo Finance. You see a one there. It's not that we are the first. It's just a way to illustrate the concept, right? I think we are the fifth, sixth, seven, eighth, or something like that, right? This is to be expected, and we will understand, or we try to explore why that could be the case in the next slides. But 2025 Q3 did signal a reversal, which needs to be validated. Corlin, the new CFO, came to us with the beautiful news that the new gross margin, the achieved gross margin in 2025 Q3 was 43%. Let's not forget that this is the first year of commercialization for Iovance. What does this mean? Iovance has existed for more than a decade, but obviously biotech companies invest. Sorry, I don't like to say obviously, because things are not obvious and you could not even have an idea what I'm talking about. So apologies for that arrogance. Right, so you create a company hoping to be able to commercialize, right? Because otherwise you would open a foundation and association and so on, and then you're basically going to invest years of research, and then at some point you hope to get FDA approval, EMA approval. These are names of the different authorities on a regional level, national level, that basically authorize the commercialization of a given treatment, whether it's a pill, a chemotherapy, a TIL therapy, whatever, right? So they only got FDA approval in February 2024. That means that this is a really young company, and obviously, right, if you buy a penny stock in a company that is not only new in the market, but is coming with the only company in the world that does TIL therapy with FDA approval, obviously it's going to come with pains, and it's going to take time for adoption, for profitability, and so on, right? So obviously this is great for the shorts, right? Who know that the path is going to be difficult. There is going to be certain components that benefits them, but as the IOVA, as the company basically solidifies itself, the science solidifies itself, they are able to improve demand, they are able to improve margins, these people will have to go, right? And what basically pushed us down will be a contributing factor to push that up, right? So this is the two sides of the coin. Now, why do we have such a massive high short interest? These are just a couple of things that are obvious. I'm not aware of other variables that could be contributing to this. We could talk about manipulation, but honestly, I do not quite understand how that works, so I won't talk about something that I don't understand. First of all, what is a fact? New therapy type, similar to CAR-T companies struggle to commercialize, to be profitable, and so on. So we will as well. It's part of the game, right? This is nothing can be done about this. I mean, actually, certain things can be done, and they seem to be doing it, right? So this is it. Then, of course, as a biotech company, they have different ways to fund themselves. They could sell royalties, but again, they want to own it all, which is good for us because that could hint a buyout. They could find non-dilutive ways to fund themselves, but so far they are using dilution. What is dilution? I basically raise more shares. By selling those shares, I get money, and by getting the money, I fund my operations, my research, and all those things, right? So we expect Iovance to dilute again, at least one or two times, at least. Maybe, who knows, they come to the 2025 Q4 earning report later on in February with non-dilutive finance strategies. Let's hope for the best, but let's get ready for the worst, because it could happen, and it's again parts of the game. It's nothing to be yeah, it is what it is, basically. Right, then binary risk. Everyone is basically saying that there's going to be a massive short squeeze. I don't see it. And why? Because non-small lung cancer being the main catalyst is already known. They've already published back in January, back in November, the data. We don't expect massive deviations to the mean, meaning that we should achieve the same level of objective response, duration, and so on. Of course, maybe not. This is the uncertainty that you need to be able to deal with when you invest in a company like this, right? And biotech in general. So really, if you think about it, there's no massive binary unknown catalyst for now. And the shorts know that. The shorts are people like you and I that are basically saying, look, we may believe or not in this company right now. We know that we can short it, we can make money, and then maybe we will switch to long. But for now, we can make money being long and short, so I will do that. That's what the hedge funds, the big institutions do. And just remember that Iovance has an institutional ownership of above 50%. Based on the source, you will see 50, 60, 70, 80%. So who the fuck knows, right? So let's just say, for the purposes of this video and understanding and conversation, that is above 50%, right? You can stop this, click on YouTube if you want to stop this and deep dive into this. I've already discussed some dynamics in the previous video, so I don't want to focus on that. So yeah, again, I don't see that a massive short squeeze going to happen, but a little one, right? Everything is about the compound effects, and at some point the compound effects of different things working together, both for the worse and for the better, have outstanding potential to get us really up. And again, if Iovance truly manages to fix the things that they need to fix, and they manage to sustain the results on non-small lung cancer, this company is not going to be in the penny stock list, right? And we just need to mentalizar, I don't know how you say in English. We need to align with reality, because reality always wins. And this will really help you in your emotional journey towards peace, mental peace, right? Understanding will I know Iovance. I've been observing Iovance since April 2025. I can tell you already that in Friday is going to go down, right? I can tell you at what point of the day and what day in the week is cheaper to buy, right? Of course, at some point that pattern may break, and then my predictions will not be relevant anymore, right? But all we can do is just understand the situation, and that way it won't have any emotional impact, right? It's really fun to go to X or StockTwits and see people losing their shit because it's going down, and it's like, guys, it's expected, okay? It's expected. It's part of the process. Right, something really interesting that is happening, and that we became aware perhaps more formally in the earnings reports of 2025 Q3, is that they are trying to centralize all operations, right? So before they worked with a third party that basically worked on the team manufacturing process for them. Now they are like, you know what, we're going to bring everything in-house, and we hope to achieve some efficiencies, because just remember, as a company, I pay a third party to manufacture for me, right? So that third party is going to have some cost, which is the manufacturing itself, which is what would cost me in-house and then obviously they need to make money, so they are going to put a commission, a margin, a service fee on top, which costs me money, right? So I would rather take it at home. I can keep the contact of that third party, because I know that if at some point I cannot fulfill the demand that I have, they may be able to do it for me. They may charge me more, of course, but this is beautiful. This is good news. Should be good news. It will come with pains, because just remember that in the first half of 2025, we saw that they had manufacturing issues. We never quite understood what they were, but they categorized the issues that affected the returns and the results under the name of manufacturing issues. We could have centralization issues, right? So this could become a bottleneck, right? And we've seen it before. You can have someone outside of your Apple store can want 100 apples, but if you only can provide 20 apples, I don't care about your potential revenue, right? Because you're not able to deliver those 80 apples, the remaining 80 apples. So you need to be aware, you need to have the demand, and you need to be able to supply the demand. And there are concerns around this that are natural and part of the process, because this is a really young company. This is a baby company in the commercial, right? So we need to understand that it comes with pains, really. Right, but we need to pay attention we need to see progression, obviously, because it's our money, it's our future, so we need to see progression. But we need to come to that. We need to be demanding from a place of understanding. Yeah. So what what needs to happen now? We are seeing reversals, we are seeing things that hint at a reversal, but that reversals needs validation. I don't give two shits if your margins were 43% in 2025 Q3, if you come to me in 2025 Q4, Q1, 26, blah, 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 with a margin of 10%, right? That exception needs to be normalized, right? It can be an exception. It has to be the rule, right? So this is what we need, and we believe there are strong reasons to believe that this reversal is really going to be validated and is going to be catapulted. I don't know if that's in Spanish or in English anymore, by non-small lung cancer, endometrial. I mean, it won't have the same impact, but it's small things that are working towards that platform narrative. Right, so this is it today. we have everyone has mixed feelings about Iovance. If you see the ratings of the analysts, basically, honestly, mostly everyone is saying that you should buy, and the return on investment is going to be high, even thinking about today, right? Obviously, the moment that non-small lung cancer gets FDA approval, the stock price is going to be on a different level. It should be above the tens levels. If we get a buyout after that, we should be able to get to the 20s, 40s, 50s, 60s if it's in 2028 or beyond, right? So again, this is a year where things need to happen. Also 2027 with the approval, but that's early 2027. After that, is when things are interesting. This is why when every time I see someone, obviously I don't respond because I am no one to question someone's strategy, and everyone has different needs. But if this stock price, if the things that happen and we get to 5 and to 10, that is shit compared to what it could be, right? So this is why I am long. First of all, because I believe in the company and I become attached to it, but mostly because if things go wrong this year, it will be fucking amazing in 2 years, right? So this is it. So yeah, Higatalis blah blah. I've already told you this, so fuck it. Yeah. So okay, the interesting part: what's gonna happen in 2026, right? On a quarter by quarter level, so what you have some inspiration as to what you could be or should be monitoring, right? First of all, and I've put this in order based on the PR that they shared for the earnings call and the earning result call transcript. We expect endometrial first because they said early Q1. So my bet, again, speculation, is that it will be before Q1, but it could not be. Right, I think that the impact is going to be low to moderate. I hope to be wrong, and I hope to see a crazy impact. But just remember that the impact that non-small lung cancer had, obviously there are other variables, dilution and so on, right? That was supposed to, the impact of that was supposed to be high to extremely high, and it wasn't. So I don't expect endometrial to do a really big contribution. But remember that it's potentially because they need to, the market is asking for validation, for operational validation, manufacturing, demand, and so on. But then the moment that switches on as a gate, then you will see the compound effects of everything, right? So we need to be patient. We need not to be surprised if endometrial pushes the stock price, let's say between 10 and 40%, right? And then after it goes down, right? It doesn't matter. What matters is that gate has opened. It's been validated. It will come later. The compound effect will come later, right? This mindset of effort and sacrifice. We suffer today to have an amazing future, right? So this is it. Second, real world data for Antagbi. In February, they are presenting it. I actually tweeted that on X today from their official account. This is extremely important, even if the impact will be low. Remember this. We need several things, but we need two things here. Let's forget about the demand and operational. On a clinical level, we need two things, right? If Antagbi doesn't work, if tomorrow they post something about Antagbi not retrieving efficacy, efficiency, safety, and so on, the whole business, the whole thesis, I was going to investment thesis, but the whole business goes to shit. That is a must. And just remember that Amtagvi for now, Amtagvi for now has conditional FDA approval. I hope to see a formal, total, absolute approval from the FDA because honestly, every time they share real world data, it only gets fucking better. Do you understand the impact of that? Right? So that is the foundation of this investment thesis, and it's being fucking validated every fucking time it gets better. We get oncologists saying, you know what, we recommend to give Antagvi earlier. I'm not saying first line necessarily, but we suggest to give it earlier. right? Do we understand that, what that means? Right? So first we need that validation, and then we expand into labels, blah, 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 right? But this is happening, and this is going to be, I think, revalidated in February in the next presentation. Hola, cariño. In the next presentation they are going to do, and voila, this is it, right? Then we are going to be seeing 2024. The earning report for 2025 Q4, right? When we will be told what the expected guidance is going to be for 2026. We'll see, right? And then we need to assess, obviously, the critical metrics like margins, demand, sales, all these things, how many days it's taking to manufacture. We don't expect, I personally expect a decrease in 1 day, 2 days, nothing more extraordinary. But remember that the new generation of manufacturing is coming. It will come, and voila. And then we will have 4001, which is expected probably later in the Q1, right? This is a new generation. I'm not going to focus on that. I expect it to have low to moderate impact. I hope to be wrong, and I hope to see extremely high impact, right? But everything, all this will have a compound effect at some point. We will see. We have to have faith. Okay, 2026 Q2 inflection points, right? Why? Validation. It needs to be validation. We will see the results for 2026 Q1, which will contribute to the guidance as a whole of 2026 as a year. So we need to keep on monitoring on a regular basis. If you don't want to monitor, then go to some another industry, although every industry is the same. Right, I expect to see the manufacturing centralization complete, although this could be pushed to 2026 Q3, and I expect it to be pushed. We may have news from Australia and UK, right? We will see. I don't expect any meaningful contribution when it comes to demand and so on until probably 2027, 2028, and hopefully sooner, but who knows? We could see additional data of non-small lung cancer, maybe, maybe not. Maybe it will be moved to 2026 Q3, right? But we do hope to see the full enrollment, right, of the data. Then remember that the population that they presented data in November, which was absolutely fucking stunning, guys. You are fucking genius. But now we usually, I believe, Antagvi needed a population of between 70 and 80 people to be able to submit for conditional approval, right? So we are halfway, but probabilistically, statistically speaking, just think about it. The results of the remaining sample or population would have to be extremely low to really bring down the whole results, right? It could happen. This is why we are a penny stock. There are sensitivities and concerns and complexities, but so far what we got is positive. Little by little we go, and this is what we got. So we will see what will happen. Manufacturing a thing, again, it may be finalized sooner or later. Let's see if we get that EMA resubmission. I've put it in Q3 because these things take time, and honestly, who the fuck knows about what will happen, right? And then we will have the earnings of the previous quarter, right? But then we will get to the latest Q, right? And then we hope to see if the data was good for non-small lung cancer. We will see the SBLA submissions. I just forgot biological license application filling for non-small lung cancer. This is where you basically say to the FDA, hey, this is what I got, please approve me, right? Then they will take time. Hopefully they will get FDA fast track approval, which will basically limit, bring down the amount of months that the FDA needs to approve. I can, it's almost guaranteed that if the data is as good as it is today, as the last data set they presented, they will get FDA approval because it's really an unsafe market. And even if you combine chemotherapy with other treatments, they are not quite getting the same results. So imagine just having it will have a different maybe commercial name for non-small cancer. Imagine that you have something that is more effective and it takes one treatment, one infusion, right? It's fucking crazy. So can it happen that the FDA will reject Amtagvi? Stranger things are seen in this world, but it's extremely unlikely, right? Then we will have Tilvance 301, which is this combo with Keytruda. Remember that Merck owns Keytruda, and Keytruda's patents expire in 2028, I think it was. This is why many people are saying that Merck could buy us. Maybe yes, maybe not, I don't know. And then, then the other earnings. All right, so what we are seeing really is that the platform validation is going to be almost finalized this year. Absolutely crazy and shit to even just see from the row, sitting down and seeing how they managed to do things and how things evolve. If these things happen, we will not be a penny stock. right? Some of us could potentially retire, not really, but something along the way, right? On the other side, on a technical level, many people are seeing it, are saying it. Shout out to $6 million something. I know you wanted me to mention you on the video. There you go. He's one of the technical guys that we have on StockTwits. Every StockTwits board needs someone technical. I am not technical myself. I honestly don't give two shits about numbers. I need to. All I care about is that what needs to happen happens. The rest is irrelevant to me for now, but it's obviously important, right? So yeah, we managed the golden cross after basically after after a golden cross. What follows is a breakout, hopefully for upward trend and not downward trend. So we see that volume is getting there. We see that indicators are signaling something. They are fucking waiting, and hopefully they will get what they need to be able to get us to the threes, to the fours, and so on, right? So this is just a summary. I'm not going to focus on this. Right, many things could go wrong, and they will. I mean, wrong is again relative, right? From what perspective? From whose perspective? Replimune is likely to get approval. I know many people are saying that they don't think they will. I think they will. I don't see the future. I'm not a doctor or something like that. I do think that they will get approval. So if they do, good for them. But for us, it will have an impact. But again, we are not here for melanoma. We are here for non-small cell cancer, melanoma, expansion into even potentially first line at some point, early days for that, endometrial, blah, blah, right? So we need to understand that there will be an impact, but this is not the game that we are playing, right? This is not what we are here for. The illusion is there, potential manufacturing bottlenecks and regulatory risks. EMA, we were rejected by EMA. We could be rejected again. Again, let's validate the thesis for now that the science works, and the things will follow whenever they need to follow, right? So yeah, it would be amazing to get that full approval from the FDA. Blah 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 blah. Yeah. So when it comes to non-small lung cancer, what time frames are we working towards? Again, this is just a prediction. We don't know for sure. We expect the enrollment completion, meaning they have the data from all the population they need to be able to present to submit the SBLA, right? Which is expected for late 2026, latest early 2027. But based on the PR that they shared, announcing that they expect the commercial launch to be in 2027's H2, that leads me to believe that the submission will be made in 2026, late 2026, and then fast track FDA approval across 2027 H1, right? So the first half of 2027. So we will see. What was this? Yeah, I don't care. I've already said that. Yeah, strategic. Sorry, guys, I'm going so fast because the tool that I'm using only allows me to record 1 hour. So I'm like, no, it's only been 28 minutes. Okay, this is fine. Where does the complexity lies, and why is this going to take some time? Which, if you just arrive to Iovance, it's going to be months for you. So I always keep in mind the people that are suffering the most, people that have been here since 2017, 14. Fucking crazy, guys. You are people of a strong character and conviction, really. Yeah. So. There are a combination of catalysts here, things that need to happen. On one side, you have binary catalysts, meaning non-small lung cancer. It is either good or not. And then you have catalysts that are non-binary, that you need to, there is a spectrum, right? And obviously the impact and the compound effects of those nuances is quite unknown, right? So example, what am I talking about? Right, so maybe the demand increases, but not to the extent that it needs. Maybe the margins improve, but they have bottlenecks. So you see, there are different things that can happen within the same variable category that is unknown to us, and some things will go right and some things are going to go wrong. So the compound effect of that is unknown, right? And so it's really hard to say, no, the moment that this happens, 20 USD, right? I don't believe that's going to happen. Nothing with Iovance is being quick, but sooner or later we get there, right? So one more day that we live is one less day that we live. So this is it. Right, so how do I see it from an exit in terms of selling Iovance, right? What am I thinking about? What scenarios, what could happen? We have the most optimistic scenario, which is everything goes amazingly well. Wee, happy flowers, which is, of course, really likely to happen. Non-small lung cancer data is good. In my table matrix criteria estimates, this is the probability that I've assigned it is moderately high. So I believe its likelihood is above 70%. Again, I am not a scientist. I'm just saying what I think. You will have to do your own diligence and come to your own conclusions. Demand increases, no bottlenecks, everything is fucking amazing, right? In that case, what I'm going to do is basically wait until non-small lung cancer FDA approval. I will sell the, maybe to cover my original investment, or maybe more if I don't want to wait for a buyout and a potential decrease of a stock price if a buyout doesn't happen, right? But I can assure you, I think I'm definitely going to be keeping more than 50% of my position after FDA approval, hoping for that buyout, right? You will have to come to your own conclusions and do your own strategy. Pessimistic scenario, the conclusion is clear. We exit. If non-small lung cancer is shit, if demand doesn't increase or even decreases, if they cannot meet even a really small amount of demand, and so on, and then we have other competitors which I don't care about for now, right? Then it's clear, unfortunately, caring about our money and our future, which doesn't mean that we don't love and admire and appreciate absolutely everyone on Iovance that took Iovance to where it is today. Let's not forget that. Let's not be ungrateful, and let's not be abusive. There are some comments that are low-key abusive from some people about certain people in Iovance. Just remember that the people that we are criticizing took us to where we are today, right? Just an idea to put out there, right? So we will see. We will see what will happen. I think, right? I think this is what's going to happen. Like everything in life is not black or white. Yes, no. It's always a mixture, right? It's always a combination of colors, a combinations of good and bad things, like life, our emotional lives, and so on, right? What do I expect to happen? I expect. Sorry, I'm sick. So let me just say, I have step is what step is whatever it's called. Sorry, I don't mean to be disrespectful. It's just, my throat is I'm sick, so I won't be able to talk, right? So what do I expect to happen? I expect non-small lung cancer to be good enough. I expect, sorry, I expect demand and operational. ¿Qué pasa, cariño? Sorry, my dog needs to go out. I expect all the things on the commercial and operational side to slowly improve with some pullbacks. Like, oh, we fucked up in this. Oh, maybe the demand in 2025 Q4 wasn't the best. Oh, maybe in 2026 Q1 wasn't the best either. But oh, in 2026 Q2 is going up and it's going up and it's going up. Slowly, right? Just remember that even if we don't, there is a possibility that even if on the manual and operational level we are not the best, let's put it that way, the fact that on the scientific level we are good, someone could buy us, right? Because the moment a big pharma plugs in big pharma efficiencies, they will manage, they will create a demand, they will come strong with operational efficiency and so on, right? So nothing is black and white. Science is black and white. Either the treatment works, is safe and efficient, or it isn't, right? But the rest can be worked out, right? And then we will see about path to profitability 2026, 2029. I don't know. Honestly, I don't care right now. That's a problem for another day, for another quarter. For now, let's focus on the high level, right? So yeah, honestly, I'm long with Iovance. I cannot say anything else. I'm organizing my financial life. I just keep on living my life. I have a simple life, happy life. I don't need much in life. So I just add a little by little, knowing that if the bad. By the way, this is one of the reasons why I'm adding more. I'm adding more because adding more would allow me to get with a high level of shares post FDA approval, and at the same time exit a little bit earlier to cover my initial investment, right? So maybe I haven't made more money, but at least I've recovered my initial savings. So I am safe in that sense, because I've been really reckless when it comes to Iovance, because honestly, I really believe in this company. But obviously, my face is irrelevant. You shouldn't care about my face. You should care about the facts. And the facts are, there are strong reasons to believe, but the path is going to be fucking hard, and some things are going to go wrong, and we do not see the future, right? So it's good to to have a backup, right? What strategies, deployment strategies, in terms of delivering the value proposition, can Iovance take, and which ones I always think of the StockTwits community, because I ask for feedback. It's not me coming to these videos by myself. It's like any good writer. They are good writers, most likely, because they manage to read good books before, right? So we built the present thanks to the work of many people in the past and in the present. So for me, that's the StockTwits community. You're amazing, guys. Right, so three paths: going solo, some sort of a partnership, and a buyout, right? So just keep in mind that life is not black and white. They can decide to go solo all the way to 2027 for FDA approval. Then they can choose to sell, right? Which is I think has likelihood to happen. Or maybe they go solo. They do some partnerships like McKesson, for example, for reimbursement and all these things, and then they do a buyout, right? This it's not one thing or the other. It's everything at its due time, right? And then we will see. Right, going solo. What is the problem with going solo? If you want to go solo and you want success, you need to work the whole thing out. So not only the science side, but also the operational side, right? Manufacturing, demand, and so on. So obviously, as we discussed previously in this video, that's going to take time. It's going to be difficult. There is going to be some things to celebrate, and there are some things that are going to be holding us back, right? So that means that it's not going to be a straight line. Like if we get a buyout right now, the stock price goes up. This is it. And if you want to cash out your earnings, you can. Here, you need to be more patient. You need to have some emotional self-regulation in place and some safety net. In my case, it's my 9 to 6 job to be able to handle this, right? And so on. So this is it. The good news is that if they go solo right now and they manage to do what they need to do, the stock price is naturally going to go up. And if we buy, if we are bought out, we are going to bought out from here, not from here. So if we are in 20 USD in 2027 and we are bought out and we get a +3 premium, that is 60 USD, right? So personally, I hope they go solo for now, and then we will see, right? Along the way, are they going to sign some sort of partnerships, right? Remember the 4 P's in marketing: price, product, promotions, and distribution. I know distribution is not a P, but so maybe they sign some deals with different ATCs chains, with McKesson for different things, right? And they basically give them money, not rights. They want to keep rights, and we will talk about rights and IPs and intellectual property. Basically, that's what IP means when it comes to assess the likelihood of a buyer, right? We don't know. We know that for now they seem to be making the right decisions and learning from the mistakes. And that, as a human being in my relationships at work, the companies that I invest on, is all I fucking care about. You fucked up. Okay. Did you humbly come back and say, I fucked up? I take ownership, accountability? Yes. Amazing. Otherwise, goodbye. Good luck, right? So this is the same. Buyout, we are going to be talking about this, right? There are many things that could happen. We could get a buyout pre non-small lung cancer approval. Then obviously the money we're going to get, it's much lower. That I personally don't want that to happen, but it's true that it will de-risk a little bit our investment. Or it could happen post FDA approval, which is personally what I want to happen, right? More money. Now, and generally speaking, there is no need to fantasize about what could or could not be happening. Fred was extremely clear in the earning report. Please, if you can, join the earning report call. But if you cannot, you can always read the transcript. There's someone in the StockTwits community. I believe it's Fosco. Are you Fosco? It's Fosco. Someone always uploads the transcript, but honestly, over time, over the days and weeks, it becomes available in many different websites where you don't need to sign up like in Trip Ranks to be able to read it. Okay, so this is clear. They are saying, look, I know what I own. I see the data. I know what's happening in the lab. I know what's happening in the clinical trials. I know what I'm owning. There's no fucking way I'm selling royalties, rights, or any type. I'm going alone. If someone else like McKesson wants to join me and I give them some money for the contribution, beautiful and very welcome. Otherwise, fuck you. I'm owning it and I'm going solo, right? So we have that feedback already. No need to fantasize about what may be happening, right? In the short term, in the medium long term, we could see a buyer, right? I really struggle to put numbers because I think they have a really strong impact on the people watching this video. I don't want to mislead anyone into anything. This is just my opinion of what could of where we stand about different things, right? So this is like an assessment matrix, simplified, definitely not professional grade. This is me working at night, doing things, guys. Right, so different dimensions that are important: clinical, regulatory. Obviously, if the science is not good and we don't get approval by the FDA and so on, we are fucked. Manufacturing operations, obviously, again, if we don't see in commercial execution, if we don't see the demand, and at the same time we see it but we are not able to supply it, and at the same time if we supply it, the margins we get are shit, so we don't make money, Obviously, we are facts. And you see that there, I'm saying readiness today is 45%, really, really low. But of course, in the long term, whatever long means here, whether it takes us 2, 3 quarters, or 7, we have moderate to high likelihood to get there, right? If you're seeing the likelihood of achievement column, which is the fourth column on the right, we don't stand. We don't have a bad standing. Like, odds are in our favor. The problem is that we are not there yet because it's the first year of commercialization for Amtagvi. We've made mistakes and whatever. Nothing that I don't know anyone. I know very powerful people in science, in technology, in any corporation that you go to high street. I've worked for most of them. In musicians, like I know many people. No one, very few people just appear and all of a sudden everything is amazing and I make $15 million, right? Everything takes a process. Even if it's just the process that it takes for you to be able to open that business, it took you all your fucking life, right? So let's be honest and humble and respectful of this process, and what they are doing is amazing. What they are doing, right? Financial sustainability, yeah, they are going to dilute. I've said it and I will continue to say it. Competitive positioning, we will discuss about this. There are competitors. There are some challenges within TIL therapy. The CAR-T in back in the time had had to do through the same process, and so I think we will do it. Buyout, right? So obviously, a big pharma, obviously, sorry, not obviously, big pharma have their own matrix, right, of decision making. I'm not saying I know it. Again, this is not a professional grade thing, right? In the clinical regulatory, they are seeing for now that Amtagvi is efficacy, no, is efficient, sorry. No, efficient, no, effective, safe, and it's a one-time treatment. They like that. Obviously, they need to see also more approvals in other countries, but most importantly, they need to see non-small lung cancer and other indications, right? They want to see the platform narrative validated. Endometrial is great, but honestly, non-small lung cancer, right? So we are halfway there, right? But we are likely to get there, right? Then manufacturing operational de-risking, yeah. Again, we own the only factory systems, processes, and so on FDA approved for T therapy. That costs a lot of fucking money to create it and maintain it and improve it, and they will pay for it, right? So even if today we are still learning to do that, it will get better and they will pay for it if they do at the end, right? Validation, commercial validation, demand, blah, blah, blah. We've spoken already. We are halfway there, right? Strategic attractiveness, what does this mean? Every company is going to have different departments or areas, oncology, blah, 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 blah. We fit in the pipeline of mostly any company because they all have a gap in non-small lung cancer, many melanoma, because this is solid tumors, and no one is so far achieving these results at this point, right, in the second line. So this is clear, even if today is halfway because we don't have non-small lung cancer and so on. The moment that gate opens, the moment that catalyst results in a 1, as in a positive result, voila, it's done, okay? It's done. I mean, it's not that easy, but it's mostly done. Okay, intellectual property legal structure, right? Iovance has almost 300 patents, and these patents are not only about T therapy in terms of producing it, like, sorry, no, yes, like it's end to end, producing the Gen 2 or Gen 3, forgotten, manufacturing process, everything. It's not just coming to the understanding that actually through T cells we can do this, is how do we do that? How do we create that? How do we execute it end to end? They are the only company that has that. And the company who is buying them is paying for that. And they better do because they should, right? And it's only getting better because real world data from Antagvi is saying, guys, it's good. And it's not only good, it's even fucking better as we assess more data. And the fucking doctors are telling us, give it earlier because it's so good, right? So this is it. Deal dynamics and market positioning, we saw it earlier this year with, what is this company? Meg, was it Meg that was going to buy a company and then they walked away from the deal? This could happen, okay? It could happen that when they talk with Merck, let's say, just for say, I'm not sure that it's going to be Merck, just an example. They talk with Merck and they negotiate, but they don't reach a deal. This is why many people say the moment that you hear rumors or the moment that you see a publication, like a PR saying that there are negotiations, sell a little bit, sell a bit of your position. So if the deal doesn't go through, you cashed out, you made a lot of money irrespectively, right? If you want to risk it and you want to go for a higher ROI, no, don't sell, wait for the deal and hope that it is made, right? But given who is behind Iovance, we're talking about Wayne, given the general effort and the general attitude and communications they are having, they definitely want to get the money that they deserve, and that means that it's going to take longer. This is it, right? So what needs to happen? Nothing new, guys. We've already spoken about it. We need non-small lung cancer. We need the demand to catch up. We need that margin to hold and hopefully get better, right? We need that platform narrative validation. Otherwise, we lose traction in everything, basically. And yeah, I think well, and obviously we always need no bad things to happen, no critical bad things to happen, right? This is it. So yeah, I'm generally, as I said earlier, I'm betting on a buyout in the second half of 2027. Well, not necessarily after FDA approval of non-small lung cancer, whether that is 2027 H1 or 2. And this is what I am organizing my life around, right? Okay, based on this, I have 15 minutes to tell you the last slides. I'm using my lunch break for work. Well, stock price projections, right? This is what I said in my last video. I basically said, this is incorrect, by the way. Like, I should have put a minus in the back case. I should have put a minus 1.90. Anyway, I basically said, guys, I would be grateful if we stay in the twos and we don't test all support levels. Thankfully, that's what happened. The bull case obviously didn't materialize, even though there were reasons for it to materialize, because non-small lung cancer was great, but it wasn't, right? When I said I would expect in 2026 to get at least to 8, 12 maximum, then 27 I said 42. I should have put, I completely fucked up there. I should have put 20, something like that, and then 42 in the bull case if we get a buyout and so on. Okay, but so far we see that Iovance is following the pattern because it's caught up in the bed to base transition, right? This is a transition that the reversal that we are talking. We need Iovance to a transition from a bed to base and then from a base to bull, and it will take time, and hopefully we'll manage that. Now, as of today, January the 30th of Friday, 30th of January, 1 p.m. Well, 4 to 2 p.m. Central Europe time. This is what I think could happen. I think this could happen. It may not. It may be better. I fucking hope so. But honestly, this is, I think, what is likely to happen. Obviously, I've inputted everything that everyone in the StockTwits have taught me. I'm listening, obviously, to the people who know, who are the analysts. I'm also seeing how Iovance reacts to certain things. Remember that I created some Excel templates and like a compound effect Excel with all the different catalysts and the previous contributions. So we know that when they dilute, the impact is between 10 and 40%, like all these things, right? So what I'm saying is that obviously if things go to shit, we will go below 4 and 2, and we will see the Andreas 1.5 USD estimation. Hopefully she's wrong, and I really hope so. I would love to see a re-rating from her. Obviously, we care about her. We would love to have her support. Base, I'm thinking we could finalize the day. Just remember that this is end of year, yeah? Again, the compound effect. So I'm thinking that we will get 100%. Let me phrase it correctly. I think it's not that complicated that we get to the 8 USD, and I'm hoping for the 14 USD, right? When we submit the biological label, blah, blah, submission, or whatever it's called, right? Then I'm hoping in 2027 that we at least get to 20s without a buyout, and then if there is a buyout, we could see 40, 50, 60, who knows, right? So we will see, but this is what I've thought, okay? Honestly, for now, as of what we know today, which may change completely tomorrow, our investment has been substantially de-risked the moment that we saw on the small lung cancer data, and it's low. For me, it's not really 100%, but the moment that they came to 25 Q4 Q3 any report back in 25 Q4 in November, with this gross margin, with this different attitude, with this reasoning, with this thinking, right? Which again is people who are doing this, people like us, who have emotions and a different intellectual framework and capabilities and interests and priorities in life, right? They seem to be on it. They seem to have the right people. Remember, they hired some former FDA managers and professionals in oncology. They have the team. They are constantly giving them shares. They keep on hiring, right? If I know that my data, my non-small lung cancer data is shit, I'm not going to be doing that, right? I'm not going to be hiring people to then go to shit. I would only do it if I am lying to myself, and I think that's going to happen, right? Like they hired in the past to because they expected a certain guidance, and then they didn't fulfill that guidance, and then they had to fire, right? But it seems that it's different, and seems is really really the key, right? What do we expect for now? More volatility. I can say this word, volatility, Jesus, right? So until, sorry, what needs to happen happens, this is going to be the roller coaster that I put on my video. Get used to it. It's normal. It's what's going to happen. But at some point, things are going to stabilize. Another word that I cannot say, stabilization, things are going to settle down, or we hope, otherwise we are fucked, right? And then at some point things are going to accelerate like fucking crazy, right? First we struggle to build a foundation, like that. Then we establish the foundation, and then we fucking go, guys. And that is going to be end of this year, 2027, right? So you are here at the right point, right? We hope to see all this full and tagby approval, although we can definitely handle conditional because the data is validating it, so we don't give a shit. Till bands, right? It would be amazing to get to first line in a combo with Keytruda, which already has some of the best efficacy out there, right? We will see next generation of TILs. Again, I haven't chosen to talk about that together with the global launches because this will take time and it's something to deep to maybe deep dive on later on when we actually get the data and we see how things are functioning, right? Then we will see hopefully that momentum for a buyout or a going solo, but solid and coming in strong, right? And hopefully we will see that endometrial, which will validate the platform narrative. Remember that cervical was also good enough. The data was good enough. It got deprioritized. I don't know based on what criteria. I assume the size of the addressable market, whatever. Just remember that they could pick that up back. Yeah, they could decide to prioritize again, and if not, when they get to a conversation on buyout possibilities, they are coming with that card is fucking coming. Hey guys, we achieved this in cervical as well, right? So everything should work out nicely. Fuck, I actually managed to do it in 51 minutes. Okay, I have 2 minutes. No, I need to walk my dog. Right, so obviously we need to use our critical thinking to in this process. It's our money, it's our lives. We're talking about our lives, our families, and many many other things, right? And we need to stick to the facts and we need to stick to the numbers and stuff like that. But faith is also important and relevant. Remember that everything in life is a matter of perspective. When you see the stock price going to 250s, which is a fucking joke, I always laugh when I see it. I'm always making jokes. It's normal, it's expected, right? What needs to happen hasn't had the time to flourish, right? So anything that happens right now, to an extent, is irrelevant. Obviously, if we see the price going to 169, we'll have to be like, what the fuck is happening? Has there been a leak? What the fuck is happening, right? But as of what we do today, no need to overthink it. When the evidence is published, we assess it together, right? To support each other and learn and try to understand the process. But for now, we enjoy the fucking ride because non-small lung cancer was good. Gross margin was good, and there are strong reasons to believe that they are 100% going to achieve the guidance because they've already said it, by the way. The guidance for 2025. That means that the any reports for 2025 Q4, which is being reported, just remember what is a Q? You divide 12 months in a year by 4. That results in 3 months. Q1 in January, February, March, right? You get a feeling, right? So obviously they report in the future about the past. So in February, end of February, in theory of this year, so in a month, in a few weeks, we are going to get the annual reports for 2026 Q4, 2025 Q4, and we expect guidance to be met. And so there should be no reasons for the stock price to go down for now. Replimune, dilution, blah, blah, blah. It will happen. It's natural, can be expected, right? But have faith, enjoy the ride. As I always say, look, obviously we don't want to lose our money. I don't want to lose 10 years of savings and suffering, right? Just like that. But also for those of us who went to such a low prices, like 222 is my average. Oh, I hope yours is similar, but otherwise, hold on. I think you will have return investment even if your average is higher, right? Even if things go wrong, yes, we will lose 20, 40% of our money, but not all. And you don't lose until you sell. Remember that. And as someone said on a StockTwits this morning, I think, or was it X? I can't remember. No, yesterday. Um, Staying long is what outsmarts the market, right? It's like the market is shit now. Okay, perfect. But I'm not selling now. I can have the patience to wait from when the market or the company reacts and is in a better situation, right? So time is really in our favor. It's also going to give us time to reconsider how we want to live our lives, right? Because if you think that suffering now, like seeing all these ups and downs, is difficult, imagine yourself with $1 million in your bank account, right? That is a lot of psychological pressure. And the problem is that we've been, um, I don't know how to say it, primed to assume that the moment that money comes in, money has to come out, right? It's like, oh, you have $1 million. What are you going to buy? Are you going to buy a house? Are you going to buy a car? And then everyone buys expensive things and they are like, fuck, I got the opportunity of my life and now I don't have the leverage, I don't have the funds, the way to maybe quit my job and do something different with my life. I use my money to buy material things that definitely have an emotional component and are super important, like having a house. But actually, maybe I should have put 50,000 euros aside to put it in a index fund, or maybe actually I should put more, so every month I get money from my index fund. I could have put it in another, in AI, because right now it's going down and it will go up at some point, right? So time is in our favor. I'm not saying everyone is in this situation. I'm really sorry if you need the money tomorrow, because the Iovance is not the place for you maybe to be here. But time really, really favors Iovance here, and it should favor us, okay? Anyway, sorry, I will shut up with this existential stuff. Just remember that everyone is on StockTwits. Should you have any questions, the community there is amazing. As I always say, any questions, any corrections to what I say that may be incorrect, feel free to honestly provide feedback. Just be respectful, but provide feedback. Create your own videos. The whole point of making these videos is first, selfishly, I love it. It really forces me to reframe my thoughts and structure them. Second, I love to help and be useful, and I know that there's people that are really lost about everything in general in when it comes to Iovance and investment, right? But I don't know what I was going to say. But anyway, comment on the YouTube comment section. On StockTwits, correct me freely, and hopefully you will make your own videos one day. The whole point is honestly promoting Iovance and helping the people that are heavily invested in Iovance and don't know really much about it. And let's be in touch. Good luck. Mwah. Love you guys.